Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. I'm just finalizing a couple of things here on the stream. I gotta bump up this audio volume, but plans have sort of changed a little bit. We're going to do the Gadget Inspector's live PC build right now. I'm just gonna test the audio, make sure you guys can hear me. We don't have any echo or anything like that, and then we're gonna talk about some of the components that we're putting into this PC, and then we're gonna actually build a PC. Okay, audio sounds good. I think you guys can see me okay, right? Everybody can see okay? All right, let's just double check that everything is live. Do all these last minute checks here. All right, cool. So it's saying that we're live. All right, this is probably gonna be a long stream. Hey, what's going on, Tom? What is going on? All righty, so I can hear you guys. You should be able to hear me. Bump this volume up a little bit more. I'm probably gonna max the volume out. All right, I think that everybody can hear me okay. Okay, so let's talk about what we got going on here. Let's get these ND filters out of here. So we finally got all the components for the Gadget Inspector's PC build. I came home Friday night, and I had the RAM, I had the SSD, we had the fans. So we've got like literally everything is sitting up here on this table. So really quickly, I want to give a big thank you to those who helped sponsor this PC build. Lefty, he donated portions to go to the RAM and the fans. Mel, 400 AGL, bought one stick of 8 gigs of RAM. Mel convinced me that just putting 8 gigs of RAM in a PC like this wouldn't benefit him at all. So we were going with 16 gigs of RAM. I thought we would go with 8, but Mel convinced me to go with 16, so thank you, Mel. Also, there was someone by the name of Lisa who donated $10, which will absolutely help to go to the shipping. And then, of course, I'm donating the main components of the PC, which is the board, processor, graphics card, power supply, and case. So all in all, we have about, I don't know, maybe $950 worth of components here, and we're just going to give it to the Gadget Inspector because I think he does great, incredible content. He's super positive, and that's really what we need on the internet today is more positive people just like him. So that's why I'm giving this to him. Plus two, anytime you start editing 4K, your computer can really bog down, and you know, it's just hard to do with just, you know, the requirements of yesterday. Like with 1080p and Premiere Pro, things were fine, but with 1080p Premiere Pro is fine, but once you bump up into 4K, it gets a little bit more demanding, and a computer like this will allow him to expand and, you know, add on as he needs. You know, as his demands change, it will help. So what we've got here is the InWin Mini 301 case. It's a pretty small, compact case. I like this case. It's all metal, which is nice, and then it's got a little slide pop door, which is tempered glass. So tempered glass, which I really like this. It's sort of tinted. I'm going to go ahead and set this off to the side so we don't break that. But I've already loaded the case fans into here last night. I decided I wasn't going to put the Be Quiet fans in here because the Be Quiet fans are not 4-pin fans, which means you don't have any speed control off of this motherboard that I'm going to put in. So it really didn't make sense, and I sort of wanted it to look cool too. So I went ahead and got some up here fans. So I got a pack of 3 up here fans. They're LED, they're blue LEDs, which will match the front of the case. You'll see that once I turn it around. But the front of the case has blue LEDs, so I think that'll look pretty cool for him as well. So yeah, got that out of the way. So the fans are loaded. The power supply is already in the case. It is a 500 watt Thermaltake power supply. Already loaded that in. So as of right now, we need to put the motherboard together. And then we need to go ahead, mount the processor, and then get the coolant heatsink on, and then the RAM in. So let's just get this case out of the way for the moment here. Okay, so case is out of the way. Got all the tools we're going to need to assemble this. SATA cables, RAM. All right, so, you know, obviously, first thing you would want to do is if you're putting together a computer is make sure you have an anti-static. No. make sure you have an anti-static band, or you can just get the Verge's handy dandy anti-static, cable-free bracelets. But obviously you want to make sure you don't have any static, because static electricity can cause damage to the components. But let's go ahead and open the motherboard. Now the motherboard that we're going to use is the ASRock 320M. It's not an overclockable motherboard, but I don't think that'll be a big deal for him, because this processor runs at about 3.4 gigahertz, which is still a high enough clock speed for him to be able to do plenty of editing. And he can always upgrade the motherboard later. That's exactly what I did with mine. I went to a 350M so I can overclock it. But then ultimately, I ended up putting the 2600X in there, which is, crazy. And probably overkill for what I do, but I think that worked out fine. So 320M motherboard here. Obviously, we'll want to make sure we ground ourselves. I sort of hate these cables, but they are necessary if you want to make sure you don't prevent damage. So we'll go ahead and put this on here. And I'll ground myself. I'm going to ground myself to the case, even though the case is totally out of the way. I will ground myself to the case. Just because that way I don't have to worry about it. Actually, I probably need to ground myself to the board. But the board really doesn't have metal, except for the ASRock symbol right there. I hate grounding myself to stuff like this, but fuck it. You know what, fuck it. I'm not gonna move around a lot. I feel like that's gonna annoy the hell out of me. Okay, so processor. We're going with the AMD Ryzen 5 1400. Pretty solid processor. Now the stock processor, the 1400 processor, comes with the AMD Wraith Stealth. This is the Wraith Stealth cooler. I'm going to be putting the AMD Wraith on there from the 2600X. And as you can see, big difference in the coolant element. Like, this is way thicker, this is thinner. So we're going to go with the AMD Wraith. I've taken off all the thermal paste that came from the factory on there as well. Also, you'll notice that the Wraith Stealth doesn't have a copper heatsink, so this should be able to help dissipate heat for this processor. Again, he's not overclocking, so we should see some pretty good temps. Let's go ahead and disassemble all of this. And don't take this as a PC build guide, because this is definitely not that. Just going to put this together. I figured do it live so you guys can see, the end result of it all. I thought that would be a cool thing to do. Hopefully everybody's doing well. I know it's early. This is probably the earliest stream we've ever done. And then also, hopefully the audio is coming in good. That's always something I can't really monitor once we get started. Hey, good morning, Joe. Good morning, Thomas. Gary Lawrence, tech guy. What's going on, man? How's it going, guys? Alright, so I gotta get the backing plate. I lost the backing plate to this. So there's a backing plate for Ryzen AM4, and that's gonna go right underneath here like so. And then just assemble this all on this box here. I think this is the safest way to do this. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we gotta flip this tab up here. Where did the processor go? Processor's in here. There it is. Okay. All right. Ryzen 5 in all her glory. So there it is. Ryzen 5 1400. Now there's a little copper, I want to say copper, but it's a gold orange, or it's a gold triangle that's on the processor for Ryzen. And on the motherboard, you'll notice that there is a triangle off to, well, facing me, it's on the left side, but this is how we know we're putting the processor in the right way, at least for Ryzen chips. And it should just pop down in there. You don't have to like push it down any further. And then the next thing, all we have to do is just pull this pin straight down, and it just snaps into place, and that's what locks the processor in. It's not like it's not the most secure locking mechanism. Like, I think Intel's locking mechanism is a little bit better, but this definitely gets the job done. Thermal paste, we're going to use the MX 4 thermal compound. I've been using this for a while. I think it works really well. And then I typically don't do like the P shape on Ryzen processors. I've been doing a, guess more of a line. I'm just gonna do a quick one here just to make sure that there's no residual from the last time I used it. And now I'm just gonna do a little line, about 80% across the board, or the processor here. I think that should be enough. It's just a very liberal amount. Put that over there. Don't need that again. There's no tack time or anything like that, so we can go ahead and mount this immediately. I'm just gonna mount it as such. I don't think that's how that goes. Why is that not sitting quite the way it should? That's my question. Doesn't appear to be. I don't want to apply unnecessary pressure, but that doesn't seem to be sitting the way it should. Seems like the bracket's too far away. Oh crap. Not good, not good. We're already off to a bad start. Yeah, that's too much force on that processor. Let me look at the Wraith. Maybe the Wraith sits at a lower clearance. No, both the same clearance off the back end plate. Don't like that. Don't like that one bit. Maybe I'll use the M. Maybe I will use this one then. Maybe I will use the cryo rig. I don't like the way that's sitting. It sort of makes me leery. Let's try. Let's look at this one. Maybe this one will be the one we use. I like this one better anyways, but there's supposed to be standoffs for that. I put all the standoffs. Yeah, see, there's so this one has standoffs. All right, so I think I'll use this one instead. I didn't want to use that, but all right, we'll use the cryo rig. It's got the same TDP, so that's fine. I wanted to try to keep as much. Whoa! Guys, thank you so much. Totally not necessary. You didn't have to do that, Rick and Lloyd. Thank you so much, though. Sorry if I'm not paying attention. I'm like sitting here talking to myself. It's been a while since I've taken the Wraith cooler off of one of these, and it just didn't. I don't know. It wasn't fitting right, so I'm gonna put the cryo rig on here, the cryo rig M9, which is equally as a good cooler, but now I got to clean the processor back off again. Crap. So let me do that. Let's clean the processor again. I use a compound to clean that. Where is my? I used to have coffee filters in here, but let me get some paper towels apparently. Okay, so I've got a somewhat of an abrasive paper towel here, and then I'm going to use the Arctic Clean. It's recommended not to do this on the board, but I'm going to just keep it in a controlled area. A couple of dabs on here will help me clean off this thermal paste that I just applied. And the reason why I'm taking the new thermal paste back off again is because I don't want any gap in. I just want it like to be seamless. So, you know. That's okay, man. That's okay, Eli. We're just sort of hanging out, man. Jim, I'm building a computer for the Gadget Inspector. I'm building a computer from the ground up. All right, so I've got the thermal compound off. Obviously, it's a lot easier once you just put it on. Then I'm going to use this right here. This is a purifier, and this will sort of polish the surface of the processor. Just basically gives you, better seeding. Also cleans any impurities off of here that I may have introduced just now. I mean, some of these steps are like unnecessary. It's sort of overkill, but I think it's easier to do this now than once it's in the case. It's almost like the equivalent of alcohol. Like you could use rubbing alcohol in this as well, but I'm not going to do that. All right, let me get this all situated this time now so I don't have to do this again. So these, I'm just hand tightening them. All right, so got that on there. These are going to lock this in place. All right. Let's go ahead and put, oh no. It's all right. Alrighty. Jim, Ryzen 5 1400, 16 gigs of RAM, 240 gig SSD, 500 watt power supply, NVIDIA GTX 1060 graphics card. And it's all going to be paired in the InWin 301 mini case. So I'm tightening with confidence right now. Again, another Verge joke. If anybody didn't get a chance to see that gem, the Verge did a PC build and it was atrocious. I'm not saying this is going to be much better, but theirs was something for sure. That's for sure. Where the hell was the fan for the processor? Just looking at the board here. Can't remember where it was. That could be a problem if I can't. Oh, there it is. CPU fan. It's up there in the corner. I just want to make sure I put this on. So out. This is going to be the top. So is that going to be the top? No. 8 pins up top. So I want the cooling to come from this end. Cool. I just need to take this fan off of here actually. Oh, that's right. CryoRig makes the most fantastic clips. There it is. All right. So once I get that one end off, we're all in good shape here. Ah. Again, always easier to do a cooler when it's not on the PC. Okay, so now at this point, I can get my thermal paste again. I could use CryoRig's thermal paste, but I don't want to do that to the Gadget Inspector. I haven't tested CryoRig's thermal paste at all, so I have no idea how well or how it doesn't perform actually. Okay, so another liberal amount there. Alrighty, let's go ahead. And so RAM's going to be on that side, so and that just sort of sits like so. Alright. Yet again, I'm having clearance problems. Why is this not? This should. Why is that not? I don't have problems there, but I have problems here. Is it the backing plate on the motherboard that's causing the problem? Surely it can't be. Can't be. Houston, we have a problem.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
I got you a microphone.
Okay, cool. I've got no way of
take the girls to the arts and
All
crafts.
right. Just trying to figure this out.
Here.
All right, thanks. trying to figure out why this plate's not sitting on here. Jesus, why is that sitting like that? This is an AM4 plate. I've had this on here before. Why is this not sitting on there like I need it to? Is the processor sitting wrong? That would be weird. I don't think so. There's no other standoff on this. And I can't have metal touching the bottom of here. That would be bad. It would be really bad. This is for AM4. Well, what am I missing from that? There isn't a spacer. Shouldn't be a problem with this. I didn't put a spacer on that last time. Why? And these are all the way down? Oh, maybe that didn't go all the way down. No, that's definitely not the case. Oh, I'm an idiot. You heard it here first. I remember why I had this problem the last time. Nope, that's not even the problem. Damn. I don't think this mounting bracket from Amazon is going to work. Seems like it's keeping the bracket too close to the motherboard. Man, it's going to piss me off if I have to get another motherboard. If I do that time, I'm just going to go 350M and say screw it. I think that would be the way to go anyways, I guess, at this point. Alright. Why is this not mounted correctly? Okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll just hand loosen that. Can't bring the plate up any. I might bring the plate up some. That doesn't seem right. I don't remember it being like that, but okay. As long as we get it on there. Okay. Let's tighten this down now. Want to make sure there's no gaps. It's been a while since I've had this board out, and it's been a while since I've put this cooler on this particular build. There is a AM4 bracket on the back of these, and when I didn't think I was doing anything with this motherboard, I just must have misplaced the bracket, so I had to order an aftermarket one. I don't know if the aftermarket one is the problem, but it doesn't appear that it is. I wouldn't imagine it is. They wouldn't sell it. It wouldn't have had great reviews, but in any event, just want to tighten it so we can't turn it anymore with our hands. So that's exactly what I'm going through doing right now. Making sure everything's tight, but not crazy tight where I'm going to snap something. That would be bad. Alright, Just gonna look in here. Thermal paste is not gapped, so that's good. I'm gonna have to stress test this before I give it to him. Not really happy with that, but okay. Okay, I think everything's tight enough. Let's go ahead and put the RAM in here. I'm gonna retest all of that, I think, again, before I fire this up for the first time. That's just weird. I don't get that. I didn't lose any of the components either. So okay, so RAM. Make sure we have this lined up correctly. Open the slots. Why does everything give me a hard time today? There it is. Jesus. That's not seated though. There, my goodness, man. Corsair RAM is like, not like G-Skill, that's for sure. G-Skill feels like it just sort of pops right in there. Not this. This feels like you gotta give it a lot of force. Ugh. Ah, thanks, Jim. Alright, one more stick. Let's see if this one goes in. A little bit easier. I doubt it. The other one was really hard to go in. Okay. Long. This is gonna piss me off. Here's what I'm gonna do. Even though I just had to forcibly get that one in there, I'm gonna start off with this slot here. Man, that takes a minute to click those. Gosh, it's annoying. I don't recall that being like that with the other memory I had. It's a very weird. I'm not really a fan of that. Alright, so the RAM is finally in. Woo! Just gonna do another check on these. Do another check. I feel like I can still turn those. I think as long as I can still turn them, I should turn it till it's tight. I'm not really going hard either on those, but really don't want that to loosen up down the road. Not that I think this will create any sort of vibration that will, but another couple of turns on this here. All right, we're in business. Alrighty, the CPU fan is over there. We don't have a very long fan. Let's go ahead and mount this up. Putting this on is much easier than taking it off, that's for certain. As long as you're mounting it correctly here. Okay, got that one on. Got this one on. Okay, let's see how this is gonna actually go. There's little slots here. one side's on. One thing that's nice about this G-Skill memory, a lot of RAM clearance, which is nice. Alright, fan is mounted. Somewhat in business here, guys. I'm just gonna route. Got a lot of excess cable in here, so I want to route it up on the side of the fan, and then I'm gonna have it come back down just to keep it out of the way, so like if you look into the case, you won't be able to see this particular wire. Alright. And then I'm just going to utilize the clip to manage the wire. And then this is a 4-pin connector. Only goes on one way. There's a little slot. There it is. So 4 pins on. Cable has been nicely tucked and managed. All right, so that part's done. This is like, I wouldn't say this is the hardest part, but it's one of them. All right, let's get that out of the way. Get this out of the way. All right, so RAM's in, processor's in. We're looking pretty good. Like this is sort of the heartbeat of this whole build. So I'm gonna set this over here for the moment. I've got a lot of hardware in here. Let's get this out of here. Deal with that later. SATA cables, which we will need. I/O shields. Hard drive. I have no idea how many people are actually in here, but cool. Probably maybe should use this, but I'm not. Okay. Alrighty. Let's get the case. Alright, so we got the case up here now. Oh, this is where it gets fun. So now we got to start doing a bunch of cable management on this. So this is a very tight, compact case. Like there is like not a lot of room. There isn't going to be a very good way to cable manage this from a beauty standpoint, at least on the back side. The back side is going to be an absolute mess, but from the front side, we're going to hide everything. Like I said, we already have the fans in the case. So we've got fans in the front. There's 3 fans inside of here, 2 for intake, 1 for exhaust. And now we got to make sure all the wires that we need are like readily accessible before I put this motherboard in 100%. The other thing is the standoffs for this motherboard, I have to double check because when I first had this computer, the standoffs were fine for a micro ATX motherboard. And then I went ahead and I picked up a new motherboard which needed additional standoffs. So I need to make sure that I remove any other standoffs that don't need to be there. Otherwise we could run the risk of shorting this board out, which I've got one standoff that is so tight on here, I can't get it off. Let's see if I have a socket that could get that off. I don't remember tightening it down with a socket. I guess I should have prepped that, but oh well. Cool drone shots, cool. Crap. Where did... Where the heck did my... Alright, let me get more tools. I didn't get one. I don't even know if this is the right size, but let me see. No, it's actually a 7mm. time being mechanics paid off. All right. So let's just go ahead and just take a rough sort of like outline of like what we're going to be putting in here. I'm not going to mount it. I just want to see where everything sort of lines up so far. All right, so I've got one. Sort of tuck these out of the way. It's the 8-pin and everything else. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, standoffs are good there, but I need to add in 1, 2. I don't need that fourth one. All right, so I need to add in 2 standoffs. 2 standoffs got to go back in because the GPU is going to weigh down on this board, and I don't want to cause any unneeded stress to the board. So we're going to go 1 standoff on this side. I think that's the right move. And then I think I have another standoff here. Cool. All right, so we need 6 screws. We have 6 standoffs. All right. I'm going to tuck this cable on the back side of here because I want it to go underneath. Is this the 8-pin? That's the GPU. I think I'm going to run the 8-pin up top. I don't think that's going to fit too well behind, so I/O for the front's going to go through the top. Everything else is going to run through the top, I think. All right, let's pop this in here. See how we're looking. All right, so all that sat in there pretty nice. I'm just making sure there's nothing else touching. Okay, cool. So everything looks to be on the standoffs properly. Let's get some screws here. Said I need 8. Where is my other utility? Not that. It's not that one. I want the magnet ones. Put this back where I found it. Alrighty. Now we're good to mount. It's been a while since this PC's been together. Standoff keeps the motherboard off any metal components in the your case. So let's say if you just mounted a motherboard directly to a case, you have soldered circuits on the back side of it, and those soldered circuits would then ground out or potentially short out a PC. So funny story, when I was building my other computer, I didn't realize that I had standoffs in the wrong spot. So I was getting a fault code when I was starting it. And it just turned out that I had a standoff where it shouldn't have been. And I got really lucky that it didn't cause any actual damage to my computer itself. I was able to take the motherboard back out, find my mistake, and then put it back together. And I was good to go. Otherwise, I think that would have been a very expensive lesson. I mean, and it happens. I mean, you're building a computer, there's a lot going on and it can happen. The biggest thing is just take your time. Don't rush and just double check everything twice. Crap. I don't think I need any additional components for that. Just that back screw, and then I think that's it. This back one's a pain in the ass. Crap. Just dropped that. No idea where she went. Stand it up. Alright, there it is. Did not want to let that get away from me. That would have bit me in the ass later. I could have seen myself forgetting that I dropped a screw there. And I did it again. And the why is the magnet not working on that? Where is my other magnet? I hate using magnets. Use a light magnet on this one. Come on now. Pissing me off. I was supposed to have my wife here to help me read comments and stuff, but her grandmother's sick and she's going to visit her. Why is that not working? Come on now. This is not a magnetic tip. Why is that not magnetic? Let me get my Cornwell tool. Probably what I should have had from the start. My Cornwell Phillips. Used to be a mechanic, and I kept all my tools when I got out of the business. Oh shit, I'm bleeding. Didn't realize I cut myself on the case. Yikes. I'll have to watch that. Case is sharp. Ooh. I must have cut myself pretty good. This is bleeding pretty fast. Jesus. And there's the bottom standoff ones. I'll take it easy, time to see how you go, man. I'll probably be here for a while. I'm gonna post this, build it. I'm just doing the whole process. It's probably gonna be a really long stream. So if you guys are popping in and out, totally cool. Alrighty. I was gonna fly today, but it's really hot outside, so I'm gonna try to go out there a little bit later. I've got some ND filters. So I've got ND filters for the Mavic Pro that I'm gonna be giving away, and then I've got ND filters for the Mavic 2 Zoom that we're gonna be giving away. So we're gonna be giving away 2 sets of ND filters. That's not the right one. This was not the right one right there. Maybe it was, but if it was, I would be shocked. The freak is going on with this standoff? Why is the standoff not coming out? It's in the wrong spot to begin with. This is gonna drive me bonkers. It's like it's stuck. Oh, I'm pulling the entire standoff with it, it feels like. Crap. That's not good. Well, we'll have to see if that's going to cause any issue later on down the road. Probably not, I'm thinking, but it's probably going to be fine. It's the ground. Alright, well, we'll see if this posts. I'm going to be pissed if it doesn't. Okay. Motherboard's mounted. Let's start cable management here. First things first, we got a bunch of crap going through. So that's the 8-pin for the CPU. This is not it's not an all-in-one, or it's not a modular power supply, so it's a little bit more messy, but a little bit more cost effective. Apologize, guys. Alrighty. So first things first, let's back this out of here. Okay, got a good solid click on that, so that should be in no problem. The 8-pin, I was gonna route the 8-pin up top, but there's just no way to like collectively do it unless if I try to use this hole here. Maybe this is what this, see if I can get it through here. Feed that through. So I don't want wires everywhere though, I hate that. Come on. I'll take the CPU out. The fan for that. All right, cool. And we are down and in here. Okay. And this has got to be mounted a specific way, which is pins facing in. Alright, pins facing in. I need a little bit more light to see that. Need a little more light. Alright, cool. Now I can see the 8-pin for the CPU. Got it there. I just need to hold the back plate to get a good hit. You gotta like, it feels like you're breaking the motherboard sometimes, but it's just, need a good click on it. And I'm still not really seated, even though I felt like I was. Ah, there it is. So there's the final click. And then I can just sort of pull back the rest of this wire, but I need to get the CPU cooler plugged back in. There it is. Cooler's back in. I'm going to do a little more cable management with that. I may put a very subtle zip tie on that. I don't know. May not be needed. I just don't like that wire hanging like that though. It looks crappy. Not that it looks much better like that. I may just actually go behind or underneath. Let me zip tie those two together. Make it one. I think that will look pretty good, right? Okay, so that's all on. And we're looking pretty good right now. Looks pretty darn good so far. Looking around, just making sure everything else is good. And then we have our bottom port I/O, which I have a little bit of room to move this back out. Trying to remember which one was which here. That's for the start. This is USB right here. So we'll go ahead and plug USB in here. That's for the front USB panel. Plugged in, looks good. Not a huge fan of the way that looks, but it's gonna get the job done. And then I've got the bottom audio, and it's just finding the audio port. This is HD audio, and HD audio is up here. I'm gonna tuck some of this wire back. I'm gonna come down on this side of the RAM, and HD audio is on this side, and it can only go in like a certain way. You look at the port, and there's actually a pin missing on one side. You want to make sure you put it in right, otherwise you can break a pin putting that on. So that looks to be right. It wouldn't have went on if it wasn't right. We'll put it that way. And then we can still tuck all of this jazz back. So I can get that up under here. These cables are fine if they're like underneath the CPU like that. And then next is just the GPU, and turning on the power, or making sure that these boxes here are set. Just again, making sure I have everything. So the next thing I gotta do is make sure the power switch works. Get the power switch on, get the GPU in, and then what we can do is take it over to the back posting area and see if it posts. If we hit the BIOS, we've got a winner. And then I can just go ahead and tidy up everything. So let me I had a picture of when I took this motherboard out of where everything went. So I've got to remember. Siri, show me photos from May. Let's see. Gotta go all the way back yonder here. I'll read comments while I'm scrolling. Yeah, I should have a ground strap, but I'm on a mat that is not going to create friction. And Yeah, so I'm okay with that. You know, for somebody who's never done this before, yeah, I would totally suggest a ground strap. I mean, that's definitely the right way to go. If I was doing a PC guide, I would probably have a ground strap on, but I'm not doing a guide. I'm just building a computer to build one live, not to have a ground strap. I'm trying to find where I took this case off. I took a photo of how it was before I touched the motherboard, so that was going to be like sort of my baseline. I need to find that. So that's where I got the PC. Where did I take a photo of that? I know it was right around, it's like right before May actually. Oh, it had to be here. Yep, that it was. Did I delete that photo? No, I didn't. I shouldn't have. I need that to know where this power is going to be on at. It doesn't say on the cables here. Oh crap. Alright, no wiggy. We'll just have to read carefully. Is that what we do? We read carefully? I took a photo of this for a reference point. I know I did. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to wing it. So we've got HDD LED, and then the power reset off to the right here. Okay, and then I just need to see where this is at. And that's the HDD LED, which the hard drive LED is on the bottom. I think that's how I had it the first time anyways. And there's nothing else there, so that's it. So let's open up GPU time now. We're almost in the home stretch here. Oh, IO shield, right? Gotta do the IO shield. Boy. Need the IO shield. In my infinite wisdom, I didn't put the IO shield in. How about that shit? Oh, that's a funny thing. That's alright, I can get it in there without having to really fuck with it too much. If that is the worst thing I've done today, then I'm in good shape. Fuck, I'll get that. I'll pull the motherboard back off if I have to. I want to see if this post, I'm a little concerned actually. I'm only concerned because that one standoff's coming off with the motherboard. But I'll put the IO on. I'll doctor that up. Graphics card. Graphics card. We got a lot of cable management to do. Okay. Now, it's all about making sure I don't pinch anything else. All right, the graphics card's in. Just needs to plug this in now. It's only a 6-pin connector. Cool, let me just mount this actually. Mount the graphics card. Okay. All right, so that's it. We've got graphics card in, processor, motherboard, fans. It's pretty tidy actually, I think. You know, for everything that's here, I think it's pretty tidy. I just need power supply cable. And then we're in business, right? What do I do with my power supply cable now? Got too many boxes in here, that's the problem. Looks like Best Buy in the back of here. Okay. Okay. So, let's see. This company sent out a field monitor yesterday. I'm going to use that because I don't want to will it over here. I want you guys to be able to see it. So I'm going to see if this will actually let me see the screen. I can't imagine why it wouldn't. Let's go ahead and throw up a battery on here. All right, so we got battery in there, HDMI in to here, HDMI into here. All right. Okay. Let's make sure we power this on. So we're going to turn the monitor on. All right, so the monitor's on. Let's see, does this post? Do we have post? Oh, did I turn the power supply off? It's on. It says no signal. Could just be this monitor, I don't know. All the fans are on. But I don't have a keyboard connected either, so, but I should get like a BioStar screen. But it's on. Oh, we got it! We posted! We're in the BIOS! That's it! We have a successful install. We've made it to the BIOS. So at this point, I just got to do a little bit of cable management. I think the blue LEDs are a nice touch. Looks cool. All I have to do is tidy up some of the wires. I've got to get the I/O shield back in there, and yeah, I gotta take the motherboard back out, or just enough to squeeze the I/O shield in there. But ultimately, it's done. So the PC build was a success. I think it looks really good. I love these fans. They're actually, for them running at full speed, they're running at 1250 RPMs. It's actually pretty quiet. It should be able to stay pretty cool too for them. So I'll tidy up the back half, and then we're good. But we've made it into the BIOS. Now all I have to do is I've got to go ahead and install Windows Pro. We bought them a license. I got Windows Pro that we're going to put on there, and then we're in good shape. But yeah, wow. So we built the PC in right around an hour and 10 minutes. Well, give or take me walking back and forth to the freaking garage. But we're in the BIOS. It's working. Everything looks good. And then we're just going to clean up all of this, though. But yeah, I can't believe I forgot the I/O shield. Such a stupid mistake, but I'll get it in there. I'm sure there's a way I can get it in without having to pull it all apart. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on the build here so you guys can take a look at it and sort of see what he's getting. So let's go ahead and zoom in here. So that's sort of the completed build. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. So it's running really quiet. And if I had any issues like with RAM or anything like that, we wouldn't even got it to post. So I think that's going to be pretty cool when it's all done. I got a hard drive. I got this 240 gig hard drive. I still got to mount. So yeah, I think it's good. I'm gonna drink something now. That's not alcoholic. I need coffee. I need coffee. But thanks for everybody for hanging out and helping me get this thing built. I may leave this live still just so I can finish up the details of it all. If you guys want me to leave the stream live while I finish the details of it all, let me know. But otherwise, thanks for hanging out, guys. It's been the longest stream I've done recently. Cool, so this is pretty cool. This field monitor from Field World, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize like it could also double as that. I'm gonna go ahead and power this down now. Yeah, I think he'll like it, Joe. I really do. I think he's gonna like it. He should love it. I think it'll be better than what he's got, and I think it sort of matches his color scheme too. He's sort of got like a blue and white color scheme going on for his channel, so I think it'll match the channel nicely. So now it's all about these details I gotta figure out here. I gotta figure out I gotta get this I/O shield in. I cannot believe I did that. Totally can't believe it. And of course, there's only one way to put this thing in. So it's not like I can just go ahead and manipulate this in here. It's impossible. I mean, I guess it's not impossible, but it's going to be damn near impossible to go ahead and pop that in there. Unless I bend tabs around, I really don't want to do that. I can't believe I did this. Oh well, live and learn. Make mistakes like that all the time, but... Alright, so now it's the disassembly process. Now that I know it posts, I can go ahead and take this all off and fix my mistake. So, that's the hardest part. Once you get to that post screen, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, yes, I made it. And then you're good to go. So... Alright, anyways, I'm going to take this all apart. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And we'll see everybody next time. Until then, stay original.